recording.
Good burp.
Sorry. Oh God. The truly, madly, deeply made me burp.
So have you guys like switched over to Truly now? If I bring over Claw, is it just for me?
No, I like it all.
No. I like some Truly flavors better and some White Claw flavors better.
Got it.
I'm fine with it all.
Yeah, I certainly will turn down no Claw.
No, not at all.
And the Truly pineapple is fucking sick. So I will not drink that.
That's the only one. I mean, I will drink it, but I'm not happy about it. It's not the nastiest thing ever, but
I was just drinking the Truly because I put it on the counter.
oh my God, do you guys just hear that wind just then?
That was the wind?
Yeah. It's so the veil has lifted and it is All Hallows Eve.
Yes.
This evening.
You guys won't hear this for a couple weeks.
But we're recording on Halloween night, and it's been such a controversial Halloween because trick-or-treating was it's terribly it's blustery day and it's a lot of rain out there right now. And so in my neighborhood, trick-or-treating was postponed until Saturday.
Which I think is good because it postpones Halloween a couple of more days. The spooky season continues.
Yeah. Bonus, we're in OT spooky season.
See, I disagree. Spooky season is done after tonight. With this weekend, it'll be November, and trick-or-treating is done after Halloween.
That's you and your water sign rules.
That is like not even a thought. Nobody ever says water signs. They sure love the fucking rules.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
you cannot use astrology for this. It's Justine liking rules.
Yeah, I was like, that's like an earth sign thing.
Yeah, this is just her personality.
That's more like the Virgo.
Justine always knows the rules, much like the Smashing Pumpkins song said.
Justine never knew the rules in that song.
That song was playing when I drove here today.
Was it?
It really was. And I was thinking, Justine knows all the rules.
Yeah, you can tell they were not singing about me.
No.
Because they were definitely not singing about me. Anyway,
it's Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
2 weeks later.
We have costumes on.
Hell yeah.
So, Heather, what are you dressed as?
I'm dressed as a spooky skeleton.
JB, what are you dressed as?
I'm dressed as a woods witch wearing my deer pelt. But I took off my deer pelt because it was hot.
And I am wearing a unicorn onesie.
Yeah, my skeleton outfit is a onesie as well. I got from Target.
Yeah,
I'm great.
Basically wearing pajamas.
Yeah.
My deer pelt is made out of fleece.
Yeah. We're all basically...
deer flesh.
You could go put on Heather's real deer pelt.
I don't want to do that. No, thank you.
You could drape it across your shoulders.
I was too hot wearing fleece, dog. I can't wear flesh.
It is warm in here.
I got my own flesh on.
Yeah, pelt would be way too warm.
Uh-oh, flickering.
Yeah.
Oh, it's spooky abounds.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, maybe there's some spirits around.
That's probably because we didn't eat dessert first.
They're trying to... So the rules of Samhain are you're supposed to eat...
You're supposed to have a reverse dinner where you invite the spirit that you would like to communicate with or, celebrate, honor, and then you have a reverse dinner. So you have dessert first, and then your entree, and then you have appetizers. And you set your beloved a plate, or you just put candles on her plate. You don't have to waste food.
Yeah.
And then everybody leaves the room in the reverse order that they entered.
Oh.
We didn't even invite a spirit to come hang out with us.
So I guess it's fine that we ate appetizers first.
Spirits. Talk to me, spirits. Yeah.
I don't know who I'd want to talk to anyway.
No, me neither.
I definitely don't want to talk to anybody.
I really don't care to talk to the spirits.
The dead are dead to me.
Yeah. They're dead or dead to me. Dead to me.
Yeah.
So should we get the episode started?
Oh, should we start? Okay.
Oh, right. Oh, gosh. That was 4 whole minutes of banter. We never do that. Welcome to That's Sick.
Hi.
This is episode 19, if I'm counting correctly.
Yeah.
I found once we got past like 12 or so, I'm losing track.
That's a prime number.
No, that's what my document says. I keep track as well.
So anyway, welcome. This is the podcast where we like to discuss all sorts of gross, gory, scary, weird, sick things. I am Justine. I'm your host for today, which means I don't know what these two are planning to talk about.
She's gonna hate it.
Yeah, it's gonna be real. You're gonna be like,
So I'm here with
Heather
and JB.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey friends.
I'm as always, I'm equal parts excited and nervous.
Yeah.
So
that's correct.
But before we get into it, does anyone have a sickest thing of the week that they would like to share with the class?
I only have a disgusting thing, so I'm going to save mine for the end.
Well, no, we end with the good.
Yeah.
I know. Oh.
So yeah.
Well, then
Gross is now.
All right. Yeah, you're right. So I saw this, and I don't know what the name of the creature was. I'm sorry. But actually, just before I came here, I was watching this YouTube video, and it looked like it was going to be a pimple popper video or a whitehead or like a
one of your
plastic jack.
favorites.
Exactly. So I was like, oh, this is going to be a good old time. I love this kind of stuff. And I'm watching it, and they're pouring iodine on this wound.
Okay.
And they pour iodine on the wound again, and iodine on the wound again, and nothing's coming up. Then they take this clear jelly out of some sort of tube, and they pour that on the wound. Nothing. Again. And then they start squeezing, and then they go in with some tweezers.
I don't like where this is going.
And they start pulling something out, and it's thick and white, and I'm just like, oh, this is like a big old like chunk of pus or something. And they're like, I'm like thinking to myself, here's the money shot, because I'm disgusted.
Oh my God. Like well, that's what those videos are all about, just waiting for the money shot.
So I thought, here's the money shot, and then they're pulling, and then there's more. And then there's more. And then something starts to appear on the thing they're pulling out, and oh no, this is not a fucking whitehead. It's a fucking creature.
No.
And
No.
I don't know if it was a maggot or a worm or a hookworm or Satan's little lice, but some kind of fucking big old grub buggy came out of this dude's lip, and I hated it so much. I went like this, and I was shaking. I was just
that's a Halloween scare for you.
It was happy Halloween for JB.
Oh, yeah,
no. It was not a happy Halloween. It was a spooky Halloween for JB. I got spooked.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No thanks. See, that's why I do not even go searching for that kind of stuff.
I didn't search. It just came up on my feed. I was just looking for
yeah, because you're always looking at earwigs and shit.
Well, no, I was just looking for like some cute memes. I was just looking for memes.
A likely story.
Wait, where was this?
It's just on fucking Facebook.
Just look at some memes.
There's like some girl I know, and she like posted this video like a sick fuck, which we should be better friends, I guess.
Maybe.
I mean, if she's going to post kind of gross stuff like that, it's probably someone I should be better friends with.
Yeah.
I suppose. I don't know.
Either way, it was real gross and I hated it.
Yeah.
But I don't know any search terms, but I don't want any of you guys to watch it anyway. It was terrible. I hated it.
I don't want to watch it. No. Nope. No, thank you.
I don't have anything that can top that. That's gross this week.
That's okay. You can still share.
Share with the class.
I don't really have anything good though. I have a sickest thing of the week actually the sickest thing of the week in a bad way I had turned out to be such an interesting thing that I discovered that I'm going to turn it into an actual topic. And we talked about it earlier.
Oh yeah. Definitely save that content.
Yeah. So it was kind of an interesting story that I just kind of stumbled upon that I had no idea about. And so I'm going to save it for a future episode.
Cool.
Yeah.
My sickest thing of the week was really just that I saw Midsommar finally last weekend, which is, it can also be sickest thing of the week in a good way. I'm just using it for a bad way because for those of you that have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And
I have not.
And for those of you that haven't, go watch the movie.
It's so good.
It's so good. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to put it this way. There's some sick things in that movie.
So good.
So good.
So culty.
Oh my God.
Such cult.
I can't wait to watch it again.
JB and Justine have both seen it. I have not. So I'm scared. I'm kind of frightened.
No, you're going to love it.
No, you'll like it.
Really? Because I'm still such a baby when it comes to horror movies.
I'm a baby when it comes to horror movies.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I did watch it in it, chapter 2, and I loved those.
It's
actually.
Nothing.
I love the scary clown.
It's nothing.
Heather, I'm just as big of a baby as you are, and I was able to handle it.
It's nothing
you're
like
tougher than me.
I'm not. I'm a pussy.
It's nothing like a regular horror movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll like it.
Okay.
It's a spooky psychological thriller.
It's a werewolf bar mitzvah.
It is not a werewolf.
Scared.
Fuck you.
Ooh, can we watch that?
Yeah.
After this,
if 30 Rock is streaming anywhere,
I bet we can pull up that scene on YouTube or something.
Yeah, we'll find something.
I don't need to watch the whole episode. I just need to watch.
Yeah. Well, we can listen to the song too. It's on Spotify.
Yes. All right. So, sickest things of the week have been shared.
Should we just talk about our overall theme?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I want you to reveal this because you were so enthusiastic about this.
The theme that I chose for this week is castration.
Oh, chopping. Whenever I asked Heather if she had any thoughts on colluding, she was like, and she said castration, blah, blah, blah. And then she went, chopping dicks, chopping dicks, chopping dicks.
Chopping up the dicks, chopping up the dicks.
Wait, is castration the same? I thought castration was
it's cutting up the balls.
Yeah.
But she did say chopping off the
Yeah.
dick.
Just because that's funny.
So just basically removing
the testis.
genitals.
Yeah, the testis.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
And
my God.
we'll get into all of it. So
Does it matter who goes first?
Not particularly.
No, I don't really think so, no.
So if you have a game you want us to play.
Yeah, I like games. I like spooky Halloween games.
Oh my God. I can't think of those off the top of my head.
Well, I think since Heather was so excited to talk about this topic that she should go first.
Yeah, I'm. It's so weird, but this is an interesting topic for me. So I don't know why, but it's just fascinating.
Hey, that's why we're doing this podcast, because we're weird fucks.
I'm a historical, like I'm a history buff person. I'm really interested in reading about history and stuff. So mine's a historically based thing. So mine is all about the castrati, or the singular form is called a castrato. Do you guys know what that is in any way?
I do.
You know.
Weren't they castrated so they could sing higher?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. That was the name. It was basically a boy who was castrated so he could preserve his beautiful high singing voice. So the name refers to the classical singing voice, the soprano, mezzo-soprano, and contralto. And it is said that it is high like a woman's voice, but like in a different way. Like it's like, oh, it's better. It's, I don't know, richer.
Of course it's better because it's a man.
Yeah, of course. You know, there's a lot of sexism that goes into the reason why castrati existed, which I'll get into in a little bit. So they were actually not often called the castrati, or like I said, the singular is the castrato. The euphemism musico was used, which basically just means music, and that kind of makes sense because they were basically a human instrument.
Right.
They were trained to be a human instrument, so they were the embodiment of music. Their artificially enhanced singing abilities enabled them to sing, it was said, enabled them to sing like birds, with like trills, like and rococo fripperies. I just like that phrase. Rococo fripperies.
Wait, I want to say it. Rococo fripperies.
Yeah. So I feel like if you don't, even if you don't know what that means, just by the way that is, you can figure out like what that means.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just like, whatever.
Very extra.
Very extra. Extremely extra. Their singing voices were. They could hold notes for up to 60 seconds long. Like their lung capacity and breath
Mariah Carey.
ability was unparalleled. I know. I love Mariah though, and it's almost All I Want for Christmas Is You season.
Tomorrow, it literally, my body is ready for Mariah.
This is why I don't approve of trick-or-treating being postponed until after Halloween, because Halloween is over after tonight.
And you want Christmas to start already?
I wanted to, first it's that like kind of in between where it's like, you know, we're in like high autumn, but Christmas is starting to creep in. Like, I don't want it to go full on Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the post-spooky fall season. Anyway, I digress.
So the other term that was used was, hope I pronounce this right, invirato, probably evirato, and was used, and that was used, and it literally means, quote, emasculated. They were also referred to as just eunuchs.
I was going to say, is there any difference between these guys and eunuchs? No. Okay.
None. They were eunuchs.
Okay.
You know, that's just like one and the same. When I was originally going to research them separately, and it turned out they were pretty much the same thing. So it was like kind of all in one umbrella. And if you've never heard of the term eunuch, it's EUNUCH, eunuch. I just like to point that out because it's a weird word, and if you guys want to search this in the future, you know, you should look it up in the Wikipedia yourself. Have
you guys not read Game of Thrones?
Yeah, Varys is a eunuch, you know, famous
classic eunuch.
If you've read or watched Game of Thrones, you know, Lord Varys is the eunuch. So history, let's get into this real. So eunuch singers, they have been around since around the Byzantine Empire. So it's about 400 AD. Constantinople. Istanbul and Constantinople. Okay, sorry. So this, there was like eunuch choirs there. Eunuch singers persisted until the 9th century, until the sack of Constantinople in 1204, which was the Fourth Crusade. So, you know, like just fucking crusades, man. What can you do? tons of destruction. They didn't reappear again until 300 years later in Italy in the mid 16th century when these castrato became common. So the Sistine Chapel of 1558 contained castrati. You know, they had them in the actual, like, they were legitimate. They had them in all of these actual churches, and they were okayed by the Pope, kind of. The choir of St. Peter's in Rome, Pope Sixtus V replaced boys with castrati around this time. Of course, women, you know, were not even thought of to be singers in the chorus tribe.
Well, Lord, no, not women.
Gross.
Why in God's name would we even? And this phrase, mulieres in ecclesiis tacent, which means, quote, let women keep silent in the churches. Fuck off! Like, seriously, fuck off. Like, oh my God. Pope Innocent the what's that, 11? Pope Innocent the 11th banned women from appearing on stage in 1686. So
this is so rude.
the castrati were played a lot of female roles, as you can imagine. So the Italian opera was popular with a lot of Europe, except for France. Like, everywhere I looked, it was like, you know, not popular in France, not popular in France. French people
hate the opera.
They had their own shit. They were like too snobby for it, you know. Sorry,
too snobby for the opera.
Yeah, as The Simpsons said at one point, cheese eating surrender monkeys. No, they're not. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I love that Simpsons reference. So it was said that if an Italian opera did not have at least one castrati in a lead role, it would be doomed to fail.
That's a fact.
Like, they were so popular at the time, and they were just apparently, you know, unrivaled in their lung capacity and their voices. Many famous castrati were revered for the voices, but, you know, they were still, like, mocked for their appearances, which I'll get into in a second, and also their bad acting.
Oh.
Like, they were good singers, but not necessarily good actors.
Was there something about being castrated that made them unable to act, or
No.
it was just they weren't valued? Okay, got it.
They were just like they were just raised as singers, and they were only trained as singers, and they weren't trained to act. Really.
Got it.
Yeah. So because they weren't necessarily always going to be on the opera stage, only select few got to get that far. A lot of them just, you know, they either sang in their local choirs or they really didn't get to do diddly squat. So the operation, let's get into that. Snip, snip.
You were a sick fuck.
We got to get into
You
this.
look so happy. I hate you.
Yeah, we got to get into the sick part of it, right?
I
course.
guess.
So the castration.
That's the broadcast, babe.
Why did I have this idea?
That's what you signed up for. Snip,
I
snip.
know. All right, let's go.
The castration. So it happens prior
Take
to
my dick, please.
Take my dick, please. It happens prior to puberty, on average around age 8, but like it's usually like age 12 and under.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Well, yeah, you got to get them before like those balls start dropping, really.
Yeah.
Before the voice starts changing.
Exactly. You have to get it
You don't
before
want
that
them to
happens.
develop the Adam's apple.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm going to get into that. I will expand on that.
Boy.
For sure. But
All
yeah, that's
right.
exactly what happens. Your Adam's apple doesn't develop till later. So when the surgery was being done, the kid was being prepped. So back then, this is the 15th, 16th century.
Mhm.
What kind of, you know, there was really no anesthetic at all. So you can imagine what happened. So sometimes the boys were given an opium narcotic, but that was actually on the rare side because it was actually, you know, it was kind of expensive and the boys were not considered worth it. So more commonly, what they did was they would place the boy in a warm bath. Sometimes they would use ice, though, to like freeze the area. And then pressure was placed over their carotids. So basically, you know, they were playing the choking game, you know?
Wait, so they'd get them to pass out?
Yeah, they would choke these boys until they passed out. And then blood supply is essentially cut from the brain. Boy passes out and the procedure can commence. This resulted in actually many boys being strangled to death, dying of suffocation, anoxic brain injury, you name it. So If you survive the procedure, actually, like what we said before, your dick wasn't cut off. The balls actually wasn't cut off either. What happened is an orchectomy is performed. So the vas deferens were snipped. That is the basically you're getting a vasectomy pretty much. But since it's happening before you hit puberty, the testicles shrivel up like raisins in the sun. They're never given a chance to develop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it prevents the formation of dihydrotestosterone, which is more potent than actual testosterone. This is a hormone that causes the larynx or the vocal cords, the voice box, to grow up to 63%. So when they are deprived of this dihydrotestosterone, their voice box remains small, like a child's, or like an adult woman's actually, but even smaller. So able to apparently produce sounds that are unrivaled. So in addition, there are other effects on the body in addition to not having a shriveled little scrotum. The castrati were typically beardless because of the lack of this hormone as well. And they, like you said, they had no Adam's apple, because the Adam's apple is the failure of the thyroid gland. Is a gland, it's in your neck, sits on top of your windpipe. And when you go through puberty, when males go through puberty, it grows and it forms the Adam's apple, sometimes more prominent than others. So whenever a man is castrated, a boy is castrated, they don't have this. So they lack an Adam's apple. So growth plates also in the bones, they are also affected. They keep growing essentially. So bones end up being abnormally large. Castrati tended to be tall and have long limbs, and that tax the internal organs and cause health problems later in life.
Huh.
Yeah. Osteoporosis most notably, but like in general, like if you're taller, in general, your cardiovascular system, your heart has to pump harder to get to the blood pumping to all of your limbs. So in general, your organs and everything else gets taxed more. So they suffered from that kind of complications from that. So the ribs, they're also part of their bones too. So they also grew in this way, and they expanded the rib cage and made the castrati kind of barrel chested, but that also expanded the lung capacity. So that's what made them able to hold these notes longer and have this like unrivaled, like singing, opera singing abilities. Yeah. Unrivaled lung powder.
All of this from no vas deferens.
From no vas deferens, yeah. And also from very intensive training. They went through intensive training, yeah.
So how were the boys chosen?
Oh my God. Perfect. Because
is this what you're talking about next?
That is exactly what's coming up next. So who were these boys? Where did they come from? It is estimated that in the 1720s and the 30s alone, at the height of the popularity of the castrati, over 4,000 to 5,000 boys were castrated annually.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Yeah. So castration was actually technically banned by papal law. So although castrati were revered for their singing voices, it was still taboo to talk about, like how a castrati got to be that way. And as you may not be too surprised, the castrati tend to come from, the boys were from poor villages. Their parents offered up their kids to have the procedure done because it would possibly enable them to bring wealth into the family later on. So the castrati were often from the poorest villages in Italy, which is pretty sad.
And these were boys who could already, they were good at singing, or
yes,
did you become good at singing? Okay.
Yeah, they basically were like, I've been singing in the choir as a little boy for a while, and they're like, he's real good. If we would just like cut his balls off, he could just be good for forever. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And so, like I said, parents offered their kids up. They would bring them to these people, like these various people in these villages, and these people, like people that did the procedure. It was very on the hush hush, they said it was barbers sometimes. Barbers acted as surgeons a lot of the time back in ye olden days. But whenever people would ask, oh, how'd the kid get that way? They would be like, oh, well, he fell off a horse. He was kicked by a mule. He was gored by a boar. They would always pass it off as some kind of accident that would require him to get this castration because it was technically not allowed and it was illegal / taboo. So in one notable case from 1840, a singer's parents claimed that he had been gored by a wild boar. And the singer is quoted as saying, quote, "If I learned that it was my father who reduced me, I would kill him with this knife."
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Some castrati were not happy about it. Some were okay with it.
Because I can imagine, these are kids, have no say in what's being done to them. And
yeah. Although I did find cases where some people searched it out, but they're children. It's always being happened to somebody that's underage,
right?
It's so they can't consent. Kids can't consent. That's just the way it is. I have another really great quote. An 18th century music historian named Charles Burney searched for the origins of the Italian castrati, who was doing this. He said thus, quote, "I inquired throughout Italy at what place the boys were chiefly qualified for singing by castration, but could get no intelligence. I was told at Milan that it was Venice, at Venice that it was Bologna, but at Bologna the fact was denied, and I was referred to Florence, from Florence to Rome, and from Rome I was sent to Naples. It is said that there are shops in Naples with the inscription, Chi si castrano ragazzi, or that means, here boys are castrated."
Well, I guess that's your fucking answer.
"But I was utterly unable to see or hear of any such shops during my residence in that city," end quote. So he went searching for who did this? Everybody's like, it's not me. It was the next town down.
Why didn't everybody just rat out the town that had the sign?
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
So only a small number of castrati became famous and had operatic careers. So the most famous example was this guy, Farinelli. I think that he also had a movie made about him. He was summoned by the Queen of Spain to sing for her husband, Philip V, out of, he had seasonal depression or some shit. I guess it said to sing him out of melancholy is...
Well, that'll work.
What I saw in that one article.
That is actually how you get yourself out of melancholy.
Someone just
singing.
Beautiful voice just, raises your spirits and you're fine. So he went on to become a popular politician. So it is said that he also he was a popular politician. So like Varys, in Game of Thrones, if you kind of flame out as a singer, you can maybe parlay that into working for a king or a queen because you're of no threat to the bloodline because you produce no heirs.
Right.
Yeah. So the other thing I found about Farinelli, which was funny, was apparently he'd like to duel with a trumpet player to see who had the best lung capacity and breath control.
Oh, that's fun. That's not what I was expecting, but okay.
I thought that was
I was thinking of actual dueling.
Yeah, same.
They Flight of the Bumblebees duel. That's what it was. The other notable person that you'll find discussed on the internet is this guy, Alessandro Moretti. There actually is a recording of him singing the Ave Maria from 1902.
So I was going to ask,
we can probably play it. I mean, if you can
later, not on the podcast.
You can't put it on the podcast.
It's not public domain?
It is. It's public domain.
I won't do it now. If I look into it and it turns out we can, maybe I'll add it in.
Yeah. If you can add it in, please do because it's actually really interesting.
That's a church banger.
But you don't want to play the whole thing, but just a small clip.
If it turns out that it's okay, I'm going to put it in here.
But yeah, it's interesting and it's yeah.
I can't believe that they were doing this until recently enough that we have a recording of it.
Yeah, well, he lived to a decent older age.
But that means they're still doing this in like the 1800s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you didn't get up to be a famous opera performer, you might have some middling success on the local choir circuit. Some hired themselves out to dress like angels and sing over the bodies of dead children at funerals.
That's a good career fallback.
Most, though, they unfortunately didn't really make it financially worth it. I mean, let's be honest.
So what happened to him?
So,
send them on the glue factory?
No. Well, here's what happened. They ended up being ostracized from society for their looks. So, like the thing that pisses me off about Game of Thrones is like Grey Worm and all of those Unsullied.
Grey Worm is, yeah. Clearly, those are bodies that have testosterone in them.
Yeah, they were supposed to be cut like when they were children, but it's impossible because that's
too much muscle. They have too much muscle.
That's not what their bodies would look like. They all have Adam's apples. They are capable of growing beards. You can see the stubble. Like, too much muscle. Yeah.
Varys looks like a eunuch.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he looks more like he could be a eunuch. But normally they were like these big, lurpy, like guys,
tall, pot-bellied, tittied men.
Yeah. The physical, like I said earlier, the physical problems only snowballed later in life. They suffer from depression, overwork of the organs. They were banned from marrying from, the church
because they couldn't, like, in good conscience provide.
They
couldn't produce heirs,
couldn't procreate. Okay,
I found this one wrote to a pope in hopes of marrying, claiming that his castration had been ineffective, and the pope replied, "Let him be castrated better."
Oh, fuck that pope. That better not have been Pope Innocent the Ninth.
I don't know which one that is, but that was way harsh, Ty. Like, my God.
Oh, no. Way harsh, Ty.
Oh my God. So they were constantly maligned by the haters. They were accused of being what?
They were maligned by the haters.
They were accused of being wanting creatures that lure men into, doing the evil gay stuff. But at the same time, just as, the unattainable or the taboo are fetishized today, they were fetishized back then. They were seen as both male and female. Both genders were attracted to them. Both genders had affairs with them. It was said that they were able to last long.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not. So they were still able of having intercourse, and it was safer, quote unquote, to have intercourse with them because they couldn't produce heirs.
Yeah.
So the stories don't outright say it, but I mean, you can pretty much infer that the Castrati very likely many of them could have identified as trans/non-binary, and because there were stories of Castrati who very much identified and presented as women most of the time.
Okay.
Casanova famously wrote of a Castrati that he mistook for a woman, and this Castrati turned out to be the protege of the Cardinal Borghese. And so as you can imagine, priests be naughty. We all know priests be naughty.
Well, I guess better with a consenting adult than a little boy.
Yeah, sure.
I guess.
Absolutely, I guess. So they participated in orgies, which I'm sure some did willingly, many did willingly, but as you can, I can only imagine that many did sex work.
Well, yeah, if they're being ostracized by society, then yeah, I would imagine that they don't really have the cultural capital to really
especially
truly
if they're
consent.
unable to marry.
Yeah, they're fetishized, and yet they are ostracized. That is just recipe number one for sex work. And it's a shame, but that was the case for a lot of them that could not make it up to to be a star.
Wow.
So they were also stereotyped as being drama queens and divas.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, their decline was slow, but it did happen kind of went out of fashion by the 19th century. People found the practice to be kind of more and more lurid, like,
Like, why are we doing this, little boys?
Yeah, why are we doing this? People were also kind of coming out of poverty, which was good. They didn't need to subject their children to such schemes, such get rich quick schemes. They could also, make more honest work as a farmer or tradesperson.
Sure.
So I found an anecdote about a high voice singer. He was afraid that he would be accused of being a castrati because his voice was so, I guess luxurious and high, that he put on his posters, he advertised that he was the proud father of a family. So that way people would know that he was like, I'm in tech, guys. You said it out.
Some good marketing savvy.
Yeah.
My vas deferens are connected.
Yeah.
And fruitful.
Oh, yeah.
In 1902, Pope Leo the 13th officially banned the castrati from his choir.
All hail him.
Yep, all hail. So a miscellaneous note that I found interesting was that Anne Rice of Interview with the Vampire fame, she has written a gothic castrati-centered romance novel called...
Of course.
I was going to say, that tracks.
That tracks. It's called Cry to Heaven. And now I kind of want to read it.
Oh my God, I think I did read that.
No way, really?
Oh, like a billion years ago. So I barely remember it. It just all that sounds really familiar.
I saw on I found out about this because people were commenting on an article, as one of the articles that I researched for this. It was actually a Gizmodo article.
Oh, Gizmodo.
Apparently she really did the research for this, and she, portrayed castrati as, they historically were, like with the kind of odd proportions and being viewed as both male and female, and being attracted to, both sexes were attracted to them, and, all that stuff. So I don't know if anything like that is ringing a bell for you, Justine.
I'm going to have to Google it. So here's the thing. When I would have read it, I probably would have been extremely inappropriately young. I started reading really young. And so as a result, I read a lot of things way before I ever should have read them.
Yeah.
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 I'm thinking I might have been like 10.
Yeah, that's inappropriate to be reading Anne Rice.
Yeah.
I feel like at 10, I was still watching My Little Pony movies. I was very sheltered.
I mean, I was also very sheltered. I just was a bookworm. Why are we talking about this?
All right.
I don't know. Anyway,
I'm done. Anyway.
Castrati.
That's where they are.
Okay. Well, cool. Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
That was extremely informative.
Yeah, I always like talking about emasculating and demasculating men. It's my favorite thing.
Well, if you like that, you're going to love what I've got to talk about.
Hell yeah.
JB, it's your turn. You're up.
All right.
Yay.
So Heather talked about some very classy dick choppings.
Yeah, classy dick choppings.
Well, not even dick choppings, just
fast deference, severing, snipping.
Just snip.
The dicks,
well, I'm going to talk about some dick choppings.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
She told me dick chopping, so
what's
of course,
wrong with you?
I'm literal. She said dick choppings. I'm like, well, I'm going to hit the internet. I'm going to find some dick choppings. And let me tell you.
Is this why you posted on Facebook the other day about...
Yes.
Wait, what did you post?
I assume our 30 listeners, all of them are my Facebook friends. However, if there's any of you out there who aren't my Facebook friends, the other day I made an update status that said, if anybody looks at my bookmarks, I want a chance to explain myself. Because there's some fucked up shit in there. Which you guys have all heard. Mm-hmm. However, if somebody that did not know me or was like, oh, this person looks up embalming and cannibalism and...
Got search in incognito mode.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I just want a chance to explain myself if it happens.
Yeah, if you die, your browser history is gonna look wicked.
To be fair, anybody I know in my real life, number one, knows that I'm a random weirdo, so they probably are just like, yep, tracks. Anyway, this is unusual for me. I think I normally tend to go a more academic track, but I'm doing news stories.
Yeah.
I love it.
This is not me. JB is not.
True story, bro.
True story, bro. So story number 1.
You got multiple stories for us.
I got 2 stories. I got 2 dick stories.
Oh, God.
One, I had never heard of this before. I had a friend suggest it to me, and it was by a young man named Armin Muves.
Armin Tamzarian.
Not Armin Tanzarian. Armin Muves, a German gentleman, was a computer repair technician in Germany, and his act of cannibalism was so severe that he became known as Der Metzgermeister, which I love because the Germans are so wonderful and they always come up with like a long compound word to describe any simple act.
What does it mean?
It means master butcher.
Master butcher.
That's what the Germans be doing. They be combining words like a hospital is a sick house. What is it? The Krankhaus.
The Krankhaus. I love how hospitals called a Krankhaus.
Yeah, and an ambulance is a Krankenwagen.
That's the sick wagon.
And we've definitely talked about this before.
We 100% have had this conversation as friends.
Krankenwagen is
the
awesome.
Krankenwagen. All right, anyway.
So please tell me about the cannibalism.
All right. So our main man, Armin, he gets on the website Cannibal Cafe in the year of our Lord 2001 when I graduated high school.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I'm old. So he gets no longer active. You guys can't go on Cannibal Cafe anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Damn.
So he goes on Cannibal Cafe looking for long pig.
.com.
Looking
for the long pig.
Looking for long pig.
Are you sure it wasn't .net?
I'm not sure, but I think it was .com.
I bet it was .net.
It was .au. No, wait. What would Germany be? DE. Yeah,
DE.
because it's for Deutschland.
It may have been an international site.
Anyway,
so he goes on Cannibal Cafe looking for long pig.
Fuck.
And he finds a gentleman who's willing. He's into it.
Can I just stop for a second and say that I really didn't think I'd have to listen to another fucking cannibal story after the last time we did a cannibal episode. God damn it, Jen. Okay, continue.
What can I say? I just love eating humans. It's a little jovial because everybody was willing, and so whatever. I'll have a laugh at their expense. So he found this gentleman. His name is Bernard Brandes. I'm a Yinzer, I can't enunciate. And so they arrange a meetup, and it's very romantic. It's very nice at me finding romance and all of the weirdest of things.
Yeah.
So they come over and they're just so excited by the idea that they immediately make sweet, sweet love.
Immediately.
He comes to his house. They're strangers you meet from the internet. So, of course, you have sex with them immediately.
As you do.
That's what you do when you meet strangers from the internet. And then they get down to it. So Brandis's fantasy was to have Armin bite off his wang.
Bite it off.
That's what he really wanted. His dream, his ultimate fantasy in life was to have somebody bite off his wiener.
All right.
Unfortunately, it didn't really work. Armin tried to bite off his wiener and it just was ineffective.
Lacking in the jaw strength.
Yeah, he wasn't able to snap it off. He wasn't able to snap into a Slim Jim.
Oh my God, slap into a Slim Jim.
Oh.
But he was able to rupture his testes with his teeth. So that's nice.
Good job. All right.
That was fun for everybody. Everybody liked that. Everyone had a good time with the testes being ruptured with his teeth. That was nice.
Had a good time.
And so then he chopped off the wiener with a kitchen knife.
Oh!
That's what he wanted. Well, hold on. Before you think that they just went into this willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Calm down. First, he took
Don't tell me to calm down.
He took a bunch of sleeping pills and a bottle of schnapps.
Oh, okay.
It's like a real hospital.
Like a real Krankenhausen.
Like a real Krankenhausen. He took 20 sleeping pills and a bottle of schnapps.
Can I interject with a factoid about this story?
I'm excited.
Because I am a sick person. I know this story.
Yeah.
I believe that before they commenced with the festivities, they filmed I already forget the names, the guy who's getting his dick chopped off.
Yeah, Brandis.
So they filmed a video of him consenting.
Yes, because that all came up in the trial later.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out at this point.
Oh, yeah. I did eventually get to the documentation. But yes, this is all consensual. This was all agreed upon. And it was, which we'll get into it. He doesn't suffer a horrible sentence for this. He shouldn't have suffered any sentence, I don't think. But
well, anyway.
No, everybody consented. Like, whatever. If you want to fucking do this shit, then it's fine. Anyway. All right. So he chops up his dick with the kitchen knife. And it's spouting like he describes it as spouting like a fountain.
A human fountain.
A human fountain.
So it's like, I don't know if you guys have seen Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah.
Where they like chop off like, you know, all of anybody's getting anything chopped off. It like just spurts like a garden hose. That's basically what this wiener is doing. This stump is doing.
And they both really wanted to eat this penis.
They both wanted to eat.
Yeah, he wanted to eat his own penis, and obviously Armin wanted to eat his penis, and they really wanted to, but it was too chewy to enjoy. They did not like eating the penis.
They did try to cook it first.
Yeah, they did. They sautéed it with some of Brandis's fat and some garlic.
Wow.
Which, you know, that's a good way to prepare basically any food.
Never have too much garlic.
But he got so distracted trying to take care of Brandis because this was a loving encounter.
Yeah. And
he was trying to take care of him.
And Brandis was bleeding to death.
So, and he was, he was going to die anyway. But, but he was trying to take care of him. He wanted to be comfortable and not, I guess, a hot fucking bloody mess all over the place.
Yeah.
But so they ended up burning the dick as you do.
Oh, they ruined it.
So they fed it to the dog.
What?
Yeah, they gave the dick to the dog.
What?
They burned the dick. So they gave it to the dog.
Oh my God. This is bananas. Oh my God. They're like, oh, okay. So the thing is like just, it's cracking me up that they both wanted so badly to eat this dick. Like imagine like you wanted.
Because obviously this guy knew he was going to end up being like RIP'd, like, you know, dead from this eventually.
What?
And then he didn't even get to enjoy eating his own dick.
No. Oh, that's such a bummer.
It was his last meal.
It was.
That's
and he
all
didn't even
wanted.
enjoy it.
Ugh.
I mean, he had to know it was going to be chewy.
He probably thought it was going to be good.
Oh, God. I mean, just look at a dick.
I wouldn't think. It doesn't look like a rump roast.
No.
Which was the first meal he made from him.
Oh.
You're skipping ahead, buddy.
I know. I got too excited.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway.
I was going to make a joke about the dick being spongy, but we can just move on.
No, we can talk about spongy dicks.
Nah, that was it.
Oh.
That was all it was.
Yeah, it was a spongy dick. So he's sitting in, and once again, I emphasize how nice and romantic this experience is. He has them in a bath for his comfort. Okay. And he's reading to him from a Star Trek novel for hours.
Aww.
Because they like that. That's what they're into. They're nerds. They're nerds in love.
Aww.
So he's reading to him, and he's hoping that he like just kind of romantically and peacefully bleeds out in his sleep in the bathtub overnight.
Oh my God.
But morning comes and he's still alive. So then he's got to like, but whatever, it's fine. It's part of the deal. Like he knew he was signing up to be a long pig.
To be stabbed, to be
well,
murdered.
he thought he was going to die in the bathtub, I'm sure.
But he did not die. So he
got
so he
got So yeah, he died.
Oh God.
R.I.P. Bernard Brandis. And so our main man, he butchers him up. He's the master butcher.
Armin Muse just like
he has a room upstairs. It's his special butcher room. And he hangs them up like fine kosher beef, and he just, you know, butchers them all up,
slices
and dices, and packs it all up in little bags and puts it in his freezer, just like how you would put anything.
Oh my!
This is really sick.
Can you even? I don't want to imagine. That's ew.
I guess when the police eventually this came to light. And when the police came and checked out his house, he tried to explain away all the flesh as wild pig.
Ha! I'm a wild pig.
I'm a wild pig. So he carved up his man, and as I glibly mentioned before, jumping ahead, His first meal was the rump steak, and he did this Hannibal Lecter style. He had like a dinner, like with a fine wine and sprouts, and
he cooked that butt meat.
He made a delicious feast of it. He actually ended up eating like 53 pounds of over man brand over 10 months.
Oh my God.
And
I didn't realize it took that long for him to get caught.
Yeah. So it's almost a year. And he sauteed and cooked all that meat with olive oil and garlic. He's a good cook.
Wow.
Oh
so poor Mr. Brandis didn't really get to enjoy his experience, but it seems like Armin Muse got to enjoy all that long pig.
Yeah, and some of the interviews they did with him afterwards, obviously, because you're like, what's up with you guy? Why are you doing all this? And he just got more and more enjoyment every time he did it, but he got to feel, I guess, kind of like Jeffrey Dahmer, like he felt close to his victim every time he ate him.
Yeah, that's what Dahmer said.
Like he felt that love and closeness. But it's like a sexual disorder called paraphilia, which is basically kind of being turned on by something being wrong.
Oh. Huh.
So he was diagnosed as that. But at the end of the day, when all was said and done, he did videotape the entire thing, as Justine alluded to earlier, where Brandis gave his consent, and he also filmed the whole thing, like including their sexual tryst before the event, and it was shown during the trial, and it's like generally been deemed too hot for TV, even by German standards.
It says a lot.
And
so, but he also filmed like the dick chopping.
He filmed.
Did they show that to the jury?
They did.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a lot of the people.
Could you imagine?
Were
permanently traumatized.
They did not feel too good about that. Yeah,
PTSD,
a lot of PTSD on from this trial. That's not a trial. I actually know I'm lying. I totally want to be on that trial.
I want to be on that trial. But
that's fucking sick, dog.
I'd want to hear all about it. Remember, I don't want to watch any of it.
Justine's like, that's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, I know. I say I want to see that, and then like I was losing my shit over seeing a maggot pulled out of a lip. So I'm full of shit.
Hard no.
That's watching a guy chop off someone's dick, that's a hard no for me, dog. So his end charge ended up being disturbing the peace.
What?
Because cannibalism is not illegal in Germany. No, that was what he was charged with.
But I think murdered somebody.
No, I'm sorry. Allow me to correct myself. He was charged with disturbing the peace. Eventually, what he was sentenced for was manslaughter.
Okay.
And he served or is serving 8 years. He may be done.
Wow.
Because the crime happened in 2000. Well, I don't think he should have had to serve any time.
No.
I do.
He did not do anything that somebody didn't want him to do to him.
But I still draw the line. I don't care if someone wants me to kill them. I'm not going to kill them.
You think that person is like not is too mentally ill to be able to make decisions for themselves at that point?
I don't think.
Because that's the question. It's like,
it is a question.
Are they actually consenting, or are they mentally ill and they can't actually consent?
Right. And it's not that I'm not against doctor assisted suicide, euthanasia. That's to me different. But we're talking about, it's like meeting someone on Tinder, essentially, and then being like, yeah, dude, you can like
saw off my dick.
Yeah, you can murder me. It's cool. Yeah, that's like that. I don't think that's okay at all.
I don't think it's okay, but I guess I don't think it's also should be illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I generally think the difference between what I think is good conduct is not necessarily what should the same standards of what should be legal conduct. I don't personally want to kill and murder any long pig, but I guess if two consenting adults want to do this, then
break unjust laws.
Then whatever, fucking do it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'm with Heather though. Like, how do we know that the other person was truly consenting?
He was filmed saying that, please eat me.
Yeah, but you don't know that they were in the state of mind to offer that consent.
That's true.
Like you'd think that the evidence would be that. Yeah. Anyway.
Either way, he'll probably be out of jail soon. So.
Cool.
So he'll probably be out there trolling the internet for more. Although he's now a vegetarian.
That's a big change.
Yeah, he's a vegetarian now. He became a vegetarian in prison.
Okay, cool. Good for him. Good for you, Armin.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a
So
pretty...
I don't know if that's a positive end to the story.
That was a pretty gross dick chopping story.
That was a pretty gross
You
dick chopping
even have
story.
one more for us.
I got one more little dick chopping story.
Sweet.
It's from a Florida man.
Oh, Florida
man.
Florida man. This is a little fun, lighthearted dick chopping story.
Okay.
All right.
Nobody dies. Everybody's alive at the end. Yay?
Yeah.
Well, good. All right.
That's nice.
So, 74-year-old man, Gary Van Ryswick, this year, in August of this year.
The year of our Lord 2019.
Yes. He found a 53-year-old man, name redacted,
Mm-hmm.
on a eunuch fetishization website, a castration fetish website, who wanted to be castrated. Now our main man Gary, he was very experienced in castrating before because obviously he had done this on farm animals in the past.
Okay, so he's an expert.
He's an expert, so he castrated some cattle. So he's trolling for guys who want to be castrated, and he offers his services to this Florida man, and he comes to his hotel room. At first, they try to do it one time.
Mm-hmm.
They try to do it one time, and they're unsuccessful because the 50-year-old man, name redacted, he is so excited about the idea of being castrated that he finishes before his dick can even be sanitized for the medical procedure.
What?
Cool.
So then they're like, all right, we'll try this again, brah.
I don't know why that's like a caveat to like, oh, you gotta...
I don't know if you have to have a boner to do it.
Well,
I have no...
no.
I don't know. He's a 53-year-old man. Maybe he can only get like one boner a week. I have no idea how it works. But I just thought that was funny that they tried to do it one other time. And
Yeah.
he just was so excited he couldn't do it.
Oh my... Oh, God.
So he
Whatever
comes
you're
back.
into, man.
He comes back to a hotel room to do it again.
Uh-huh.
And he's successful in that his testicles are removed. However, it's a big bloody mess because I guess it turns out doing it on a human is not exactly the same thing as doing it on cattle.
Yeah.
All right.
And then he calls the paramedics and they come.
Well, it's responsible.
He was, yeah, it wasn't heartless. And he has his like little testicles in a little jar next to the bed.
His little testicles.
And then our man Gary, he gets arrested for practicing medicine without a license.
Fair. Fair.
So I guess everybody got what they wanted except Gary, who went to jail.
He's trying to back alley or checktomy is what he was doing. So
that was the other fun castration story I could find.
I love it.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. That's funny. It's so bad, but it's funny.
So I guess you can't, there's no elective castration surgery.
Ed is practicing medicine without a license.
No, but I mean,
Oh.
like, he couldn't go to like
Maybe
a
it's too
licensed
expensive.
doctor.
Yeah, I'm guessing maybe going through a fetish website he probably was able to do it for free. I
Well,
imagine he didn't pay.
I'm just wondering if you could even like
If you could ask
I'm
the
asking,
doctor
is
to
it
do it.
is it an elective thing or could you only like? I mean,
I
I know
don't
it's something that's done if it needs to be done, but
I bet you could. I bet you could probably like
I
plead.
hope that it's at least as hard if you can get an elective castration. I hope it's at least as hard for a man to do that as it is for a woman to get a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
what
probably not.
if you're a woman under 35 trying to get a hysterectomy, isn't it goddamn near impossible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even over 35. I don't think it matters, especially if you're unmarried.
Oh, but
if
your
you've never had
future
kids-
husband might want
if you've
children.
never had children. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it is. I honestly don't know. That's something that might be worth the research to find out if any doctor would be willing to perform a voluntary or checktomy. Well, I mean, obviously, a vasectomy, that's a snip on the vas.
Right.
It's extremely common. But like to get like your actual like scrotum and nutsack removed.
It does extend your life. In my research in castration, being castrated tends to extend your life like 10 to 15 years.
Well, aren't there people that donate their testicles too? Like I heard that you can. Well, maybe that just might be black market. You can sell your testicles in the black market. Just like you can
okay.
sell any other organ. Not well. Yeah, you can
All right.
sell organs on the black market.
I Googled it. Well,
Yeah.
first, dum-dum, obviously, transgender women can get orchiectomies.
Yeah.
So right there is a pretty good answer. Can't believe I didn't think of that. It actually, no, it sounds, I Googled it. It sounds like you can get elective workyectomies.
All right.
And you know what? I bet it is easier than getting a hysterectomy.
Of course, because it's for men.
Yeah, it's for men. Just for men.
No,
Or, yeah.
it's also for transgender women.
I assume that it would have been like assigned as a medical condition, not just an elective procedure.
Right.
Well,
yeah,
although
like,
a gender confirmation surgery is a different matter, but
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
women, yeah.
I guess I wasn't really thinking about trans women because, yeah, I'm just, that to me is just like, well, you know, you're
Well,
trans.
obviously
you're a
you
woman.
don't need those.
Right.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, obviously you should be able to get rid of that.
Yeah, obviously you don't need
Right.
that.
Right.
Whereas I guess I was just thinking about like a cis man who
And I just don't want my balls anymore.
These balls
Yeah.
are getting in the way. I keep sitting on them.
Right, exactly.
It's just
Like,
such
I
a
just want to wear
nuisance.
tighter pants. Like, no ballroom in these pants.
I'm tired of moose knuckling in these pants.
my
I'm
God.
sorry. I'm feeling particularly gross today.
That's
I love
good.
it.
I just kept horrifying Jen right before we started recording.
She did. She was gross. She grossed me out.
Well, it's because you grossed me out first.
It's good. It's Halloween. That's what
I,
it's all
I
for.
like being grossed out. It's fine. I was happy.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Okay, those are good stories. I wasn't as horrified as I thought it would be. It was the right level of sickness. So thank you.
No worries.
I'm
All
glad
right.
you were grossed out, though. Were you grossed out?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, good.
All right.
I was.
So
I was by you.
Thank you.
Let's lighten the mood.
Yay!
Sickest thing of the week in a good way, guys.
My sickest thing of the week is Kesha's new song "Slaps."
Ooh, Big Frida.
Yeah, and
right?
it features Big Frida, and it's
Awesome.
so good. It's
I haven't
called
listened to it yet.
Raisin
We'll
Hell.
have to listen to it after this.
It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We just listened to it the other day together.
I can't stop listening to
I
it.
love Kesha so much. Marry
Yeah.
me, Kesha, if you're listening.
Kesha's
Some
great.
way, if you are.
So yeah, that's the sickest thing. It's so sick. So sick.
So sick.
JB?
I had gross. I don't have good. I only
Okay.
have gross.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
made up for not having a sick thing, really.
Yeah, and my sickest thing of the week in the good way is the same as my sickest thing of the week in the bad way, and that Midsummer was amazing, and everyone should
Yeah.
go watch it.
Watch Midsommar, friends.
Midsummer.
You will like it.
I basically had a midsummer party last summer without even
totes.
knowing it.
Yeah,
Totes. It
it's-
was totes that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually. I mean, yeah.
We wore white. We had the flower crowns.
I mean, it was.
We
just
were missing a few key elements.
We can put it that way.
Nobody was hurt. I'm not saying I know what happens, but
There
I'm going
weren't
to
any
assume
sexual rituals, which I'm very disappointed by.
maybe next year. There's always another summer solstice, man. Yep.
Yeah, but I highly recommend that you watch that.
I will.
Post haste.
I will.
Yeah.
Mock Schnell.
Yeah, tight.
Mach schnell.
Mach Schnell.
Der Metzgermeister.
All right.
Well, that's it for this episode. If you liked what you heard, and we hope you did, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you found us. That would be great. You can go ahead and give us that 5-star rating. That would be super sweet.
Be tight.
Yeah,
Please.
You can also tweet at us on the Twitter at at that sick pod, or you can get at us on Instagram at that sick podcast. Send us an email at that's.sick.podcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. We would really love to share any of sick stories that you might have, or look into any sick topics that you would like to hear us talk about. Just, boss us around. Tell us what to do. It'd be cool. Well, until next time, kids, don't eat unseasoned dick, because that's sick.